From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, whitehatjunior.com and Ramaiah University, Bengaluru.
Viewers, we're getting some live pictures of Deepika Padukone on her way and on her way to her residence. And let me tell you, the media crews are following her. And as the media crews are following her, I want to also tell you that the Narcotics Control Bureau has confirmed to Republic that it has some really incriminating evidence about Deepika Padukone's use of narcotics. That's Deepika Padukone's car, the black car, which is on its way to her residence. She faces multiple charges. We are told there are multiple conversations that Deepika Padukone has, that she has, through her connections, built a deep network of connections with drug peddlers and is deeply involved in the drugs racket of Bollywood. Piyush is more with us. Piyush, you're with us. When she landed, did she speak? And as the cameras chase her through, what's her reaction been like? Piyush, can you hear me? We're getting those tracking visuals. Piyush, if you can hear me, can you tell us?
Yes, I can.
Yes, please go on. Yes,
Yes.
Piyush.
I can hear you, Arnab, and these are the live pictures which we are showing to our viewers. Deepika Padukone has now left from Kalina Airport. She is on her way back to her residence. We tried multiple times to ask a few questions from Deepika Padukone, but she maintained complete silence. Ranveer Singh, along with Deepika Padukone, they are sitting inside their car. When we asked them, we need to focus on one thing, that when we asked them, they closed their eyes. They did not even open their eyes. We have those visuals where they did not want to answer our questions. We tried multiple times, but they did not speak. And that's the vehicle, the
right.
magenta vehicle in our frame, the dark blue vehicle in our frame. That's the Deepika's vehicle, and she, along with Ranveer Singh, they are sitting in that particular car.
Tomorrow when the questioning starts, Piyush, thanks Piyush. Tomorrow when the questioning starts, Piyush, want to tell you the questions range from drug racketing, drug smuggling, and to the distribution network. And which brings me to the other big point. As the focus on the drugs racket in Bollywood increases, the focus has been on two companies. One is Cornerstone, and the other is a company called KWAN. And ladies and gentlemen, top executives at the talent agency KWAN, which is seen to be the centerpiece of the drugs racket in Bollywood, have been summoned. Everyone's trying to look at the shareholding structure and find out who the real secret, quote-unquote, big boss of KWAN is, the big boss of KWAN, and their WhatsApp chats. What this exposes is an organized drug racket to supply drugs to stars. So it's about the commercialization of narcotics that KWAN is doing. The commercialization of narcotics. So who runs this company which carries out so openly the commercializations of the narcotics trade? Who is the big boss of KWAN? If KWAN is the centerpiece of the drug investigation, should the real big boss of KWAN, the big boss of KWAN, be arrested? Let's debate.
KWAN is the centerpiece of the Bollywood drug investigation. Jaya Saha is just the tip of the iceberg at KWAN.
जय शाह रिपब्लिक सवाल पूछ रहा है दीपिका पादुकोण के साथ में ड्रग चैट्स हुई, उसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहती है? जय शाह रिपब्लिक सवाल पूछ रहा है और कौन से बॉलीवुड स्टार्स के साथ में पेडल करती थी? जय शाह जवाब दीजिए.
CEO Dhruv has been summoned and questioned.
ध्रुव तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं. ध्रुव CEO.
Karishma Prakash has been summoned on Friday. Madhu Antena has been summoned and questioned. Look at this web that's led to KWAN becoming the focus. Stars managed by this agency, including Deepika Padukone, Shraddha Kapoor, and of course Riya, are in the drug net. The insiders say the rot is much bigger.
ये टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट एजेंसी जो है वो इन लड़कियों को एक्सप्लॉइट कर रही है, इन लड़कियों को ड्रग सप्लाई में डालते हैं, इनको अपना शिकार बनाते हैं और फिर बारी बार इनको यूज करा जाता है कई और कामों के लिए, ना फिल्मी कामों के लिए, तो नॉन फिल्मी कामों के लिए भी लड़कियों को यूज करा जाता है और लड़कों को भी। और जो इनके चक्रों में नहीं फंसता उसको ये आगे काम नहीं देते, उसको इनफैक्ट इंडस्ट्री से बाहर कर देते हैं।
Tonight, Enforcement Directorate is looking at the KWAN ownership pattern. Was it involved in drug trafficking? Who's the real owner? Who's the real big boss of KWAN? If KWAN is the centerpiece, should KWAN owner be arrested? Let's debate.
Such a dark and dangerous company. I repeat, a dark and dangerous company, that the demand to arrest the real owner of KWAN has become a nationwide outcry right now. On my debate, we hope to take this further, viewers. The hashtag is Arrest KWAN Boss. As we debate this, you're getting live pictures there of reporters following Deepika's car. She's going to be reaching her house. Let's get back to KWAN. On KWAN, I have Shaina NC, we have Nilotpal Mrinal, SSR's friend Harinder Sikka, Shoaib Chaudhary, Akashdeep Sabir, producer, filmmaker, Shailendra Singh, former MD of Percept, and Rahul Ishwar. But first, I'd like to ask Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh is Sushant's friend, an actor. He says he knows more about how KWAN operates. Now, what really is KWAN, Yuvraj? And why is KWAN at the center of the drugs business as it now emerges? Any drugs connection, the link is to KWAN.
Right.
And Jaya Sahu, who works with KWAN, she got 10 crore rupees out of Sushant Singh Rajput. Huge amount. Sushant had 15 crores or so in the bank. And so 2/3 of all the money he had, he gave it to Jaya Sahu. What is the real KWAN business? What's going on here? What do you know?
Well, I know KWAN really well because this company started in front of me, pretty much, in Delhi. And Dhruv is a very, very old, known person to me, a friend. But it's unfortunate to see this in the company go like this. I know Madhu Mantena as well, for ages. I know Madhu since 2005. But it's
Who
really
owns this
sad.
company?
But I thought it was Anirban and Dhruv, and these were the guys who started the company.
But Anirban
now
left the
I'm seeing-
company after Me Too charges.
Yeah, I mean, they were the ones who started it, but now I see there are too many new names. I think Madhu joined them later. And it was actually Dhruv and Anirban and another partner who started this company. And Madhu is the owner of Phantom Films, who has made a lot of films, including Urta Punjab. And I think he's come on the board later. And now I'm seeing there's a different directorship on this whole company. And I was aware of KWAN being talent managers. But unfortunately, the activities KWAN is doing right now is something that I never associated them to do. And they've been in the business for a while now. And to do such things, especially from Dhruv, to deal this, to get drugs for the artists and all, this all something that I didn't expect from them. This is very low-level work because they are normally doing very high-level endorsements, very high-level agreements for these big stars, even film agreements. And I've been a client of KWAN. I've done few shoots with them, and I've taken their artists also. But unfortunate to see them being involved in ED inquiries and drug investigations and supplying drug to artists. I think that is a
No,
criminal
but you
activity
said
that I
that,
will not
you
support.
said, what's happening is everybody's talking about Jaya Saha. But you said Jaya Saha is only an agent. What superstars will tell her to do, she will have to do. Which means there is some other big boss in the picture. The real big boss.
There's always a big boss, Arnab. You know that.
So who's the big boss here?
Well, I can. For me, KWAN was pretty much Anirban and Dhruv. But now I see Madhu also being there. And I think there are other names that have emerged in the directorship. And I think those names are out there. I think.
Sometimes these structures are built, these corporate structures are built to hide the real ownership.
Right.
So someone who's doing this business wants to hide the real ownership but get the money anyway. Maybe.
Yes, I mean, I can see like there's a lot of money being involved from other countries and other parties, which was never the case.
China. China for one.
Okay.
Can I make a short point on what he just said?
Yes.
Arnab, so I just want to make a very interesting point that obviously the owner of KWAN is going to be held responsible, because this is not the way to do business. This is not unacceptable by any standards, because the law has been...
But who's the owner of KWAN? Who's the owner of KWAN?
I think Arnab, you've already nailed it. Republic already has...
No, I haven't nailed anything.
The largest shareholder, because the CEO of the company is only a designated officer.
No, the CEO of the company is a designated officer, but who's the owner of KWAN?
I mean, Arnab, you've said that last night. I mean,
I haven't said a thing.
Seems to be, but
I'm only asking who's the big boss of KWAN.
Look, what we all perceived to be was Salman to be the largest shareholder. But
well, he's denied it. Salman's denied it.
Truthfully,
Salman put out a statement with his lawyer denying it.
But Arnab, just another small, very important point. Arnab,
but you saw that Salman denied it.
I saw that. I saw Anand Desai.
Yes,
so Salman can't deny being the owner of KWAN.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting that the shareholder pattern is not in public space. It's interesting that the people who actually own KWAN are not coming out. It's unfortunate that they're throwing the professionals under the bus. And Arnab, another very valid point to understand is that
you'd call drug peddlers professionals?
Arnab, I ran the biggest talent management company. Arnab, just let me just give me one moment, please, because I really want at some point to protect the professionals who today are guilty, surely guilty. But the fact of the matter is that I think the lifestyle of the artists, the celebrities, the superstars have drastically changed, the demands and needs. And these employees have to actually bend down on their knees and service these superstars, otherwise they lose their jobs.
So the culture, one minute. Nobody, JSI is a partner of KWAN, A. B, I can only say that there must be an investigation into the ownership of KWAN, and KWAN is such a
100%.
dirty and dangerous company. Yuvraj said it wasn't, but we are only interested in the present. Shaina, is it so difficult to find out who the owner of KWAN is?
1 minute, what is the meaning of saying servicing film stars? Film stars, if at all, should be the role models, and in this cleanup process, it's shocking that nobody has spoken up to say whether they have consumed drugs or not. Nobody is implying that Deepika Padukone or anybody else is guilty. But an interrogation will clearly raise lots of questions when it comes to suppliers, consumers, and this entire nexus. The Home Ministry has clearly said that it's not about a
Come on, China, hang on. China, you don't have the business to take a high ground. You're the ruling party. There are drugs being peddled across India freely in all celebrity circles. But today we're discussing Bollywood China. China, can you promise us as the ruling party to ensure that India will be drug-free? Can you do that? Come on, China.
Supply and service.
China, don't do no more lip service, China. You are in power.
For their talent.
Make the decision to ensure that your government will ensure that India will be drug-free. Can you do that?
BJP and Republic
you're not allowing me to complete my point.
Today we are really disturbed as Indian citizens.
Of a certain segment that thinks they are absolutely insulated because they are positioned for power.
China, we have borders. We have laws against drugs.
Cleanup, not just in the film fraternity, it could be the sports fraternity, it could be the political class, and for all those...
No, the thing is that... Okay, now here's another, let's keep the focus on KWAN. Let's, people are, I'll tell you one thing, this is just a minute. Okay, now,
why can't you get some...
Shailendra, will you just chill for a minute, please, listen. What we need to understand is...
made their position clear.
No, again you're holding up your Chinese phone. What do you want? Why have you become a China agent? Put down your Chinese phone.
No actionable inputs to show a nexus between people in film industry and drug traffickers. Government, No actionable
Sir, that
inputs
we
to
are
show
even
nexus
saying-
between people.
Arey,
in
you,
film industry.
arey, you ignorant man, where are you reading that from? You ignorant man, where are you reading that from?
People of the
But please,
fraternity
it is
also
G.
need to
Kishan
speak
Reddy,
up as to
Home
whether they've been
Ministry.
consuming or
G.
they've been
Kishan
serviced
Reddy,
by,
Home
people
Ministry.
like
It is
So,
not
so
Rahul
you know
Iswar.
what?
They had-
Hello, hello, 1 minute. I want to teach him English.
So let us
I want to teach him English. Shaina, 1 minute. Shaina, a minute. Shaina. Rahul, the problem with you is, the problem with you is, the problem with you is the same problem as Sunny Deol. You know what the problem with connection between Sunny Deol and you is? Akashdeep, do you know why Sunny Deol and Rahul Ishwar are so similar? Because they both know one dance step and they keep repeating it. They both know one dance step and they keep repeating it. And similarly, Rahul Ishwar has mugged up one line, he will keep repeating it. Arey, keep quiet. Don't behave like an ignoramus on my program. Listen to me, Rahul. Rahul, oh God, you know.
Different Rahul Ishwar. Today's debate is different Rahul Ishwar. You cannot have the same stand today. If KWAN is at the center of this, you cannot stay.
The debate is about KWAN. For God's sake, Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar.
Cannot do this.
For God's sake, you don't even respond to your own
You
name.
don't trust Modi as minister?
Will you, what will you respond to?
Rahul, we've heard you.
The debate is on KWAN.
We've heard you.
And viewers, the centerpiece, as Akashdeep has said, for the first time he said a sensible thing after a long time is that the focus is on KWAN. So let's bring the focus on KWAN. Harinder is on the debate. Nilotpal is on the debate. Nobody wants to talk about KWAN. First of all, what is the meaning of KWAN? It sounds very Chinese to me. KWAN sounds very Hong Kong to me, very Chinese to me. Anyway, people have their own right. It's interesting that a lot of money via KWAN and its subsidiary companies comes from China. I also, viewers, feel there should be an investigation in this country on how everybody, all the Jinpings in China and all their friends and family and everybody is watching only Hindi movies. Because hundreds of thousands of crores are coming from China into India. Over the last 4 years, it seems Chinese have nothing to do. सुबह शाम उठकर हरिंदर जी सिर्फ हिंदी पिक्चरें देखते हैं, वो भी क्वान वाली पिक्चर्स. So we'll have to look at the China connection. These are serious matters. Now, why are KWAN people in the Deepika meetings? So Harinder ji, in the meetings that Deepika was having on how to save herself from the drugs charges, there were 6 people from KWAN who were flown in and were sitting with Deepika. Why? Why is KWAN so nervous?
So if you want to, so if you give me a few minutes, I will give you entire matter with proofs how it operates. When I was in the Coast Guard on deputation, we knew which boats operate, and we made sea routes so tight, whatever is caught, we were thrown back into the ocean. It became impossible for them to smuggle the large quantities from there. Then became a very easy route for them, the Punjab route. And Punjab route, 12,600 villages in Punjab, not a single village which is not affected. They set up big distribution network. It is possible KWAN is one of the biggest network for Bombay, for Bollywood.
Yes.
But this network comes via Pakistan.
Via Pakistan.
And that we are forgetting, that it is not Bollywood. It is not Bollywood who is affecting soldiers. It is actually Punjab which is affecting soldiers. This is the drug terror money, which is forcing the soldiers to go on the back foot so often than not. Nobody bothers about us. Ask us what we have gone through in the sea and the ocean.
Harinder, these are the same people. No, Shoaib, a minute now before you come in, Shoaib. 1 minute, be quiet. You are the same people who use the name of the country in the films. You are the same people who make Urda Punjab. You are the same people who make films on Uri. You make money using our soldiers' name. You ungrateful, despicable people. You even made a film about the Indian Air Force while abusing and wrongly portraying the Indian Air Force. And now I want to know, how is it that, what is KWAN? What is KWAN? What is KWAN? You tell me the truth about KWAN. Shoaib, tell me the truth about KWAN. How is KWAN emerging as the focal point from where the druggie gang operates? And why is it that its drug chats involve Karishma Prakash and its co-founder Dhruv? Why are they all going? No. Is it a talent agency or a drug delivery agency? Is it a drug delivery agency? You answer me. Is it the hotbed of the drug operation? Stop waving your fingers without knowing. Bring your hand down. You tell me whether KWAN is the center of the drug operation. Why does every road lead to KWAN? Why does every drug road lead to KWAN? Yuvraj and Akash, Yuvraj can debate with you.
I feel so sorry for you.
I feel sorry for you that you lack the spine or the grace to talk about the filth that you people have brought into this country. You know, you people don't even respect the nation or armed forces.
Why is MDMA being dealt by the top bosses of KWAN?
Why is MDMA being dealt with by the top bosses of KWAN? Good question. What does MDMA?
Start making some sense.
Yuvraj is asking the question. Answer him. Stop flailing your hands about in desperation. Yes, Yuvraj, go on.
So they are saying that ganja people take, but bhang is legal or something, and all that nonsense that they are talking. But what about MDMA and cocaine? That is globally banned. And what is KWAN doing with that?
Figure out bhang is very freely available.
And what about the ED now checking their accounts for foreign investments? Shoaib needs to get his facts correct. I know KWAN better than anyone. He doesn't even know KWAN.
No, you
I know other
bhang
management. Speak to their office. I've been a client of theirs. But if they are doing wrong things against the nation, then I'm sorry, Shoaib. We as Indians have to stand against this.
Was KWAN involved in drug business?
Yes, KWAN was involved in the drug business and is involved in the drug business.
Any information about KWAN, you should have given it to NCB.
Go down, Shoaib. I'm sorry. Why is there money being coming from UAE in this company and China? We have enough money in this nation. Please, don't give me these...
Good point, Yuvraj. Someone answer that. Akashdeep, answer that. Why is so much money coming from Abu Dhabi and China? Why is so much money coming from Abu Dhabi and China? The insinuation is money laundering.
So you have investors across the world. What are you talking about? Is there any cash investment?
Relax, catch your breath. Viewers, do you think the big boss, I underline big boss of KWAN should be arrested?
Yes.
Should the big boss of KWAN be arrested? My question is that.
Shoaib, today you're not making sense. Shoaib, every person
Definitely be inquired.
who has been arrested or interrogated has accepted that they are supplying drugs. We cannot defend this. You can be selective about what you defend, but you cannot defend today's argument.
Defending them.
The people in KWAN are supplying drugs to those people. It's been caught, and you are still defending.
That these guys are talking about.
I defend Bollywood from certain allegations, but I cannot defend this. Come on, yaar, Shoaib. Why would we allow this to happen?
Shailendra is back on the debate. Calm down. Nilotpal, I see a certain defensiveness in their approach.
As far as the artist who's
No, Nilotpal. Shailendra, coming to you. Nilotpal wants to say something. And I also want to tell you, viewers, by the way, Deepika's NGO had the KWAN co-founder, Anirban Das Bla, as the founder. One, KWAN is the marketplace, the connector, the peddler for Bollywood's who's who. Please understand how powerful who is the big boss of KWAN? There are reports of our top talent agency run by one of the top actors of Bollywood got a strategic stake in KWAN in 2018. Meanwhile, Salman Khan's lawyer says Mr. Salman Khan has no stake, direct or indirect, in KWAN or any of its group entities. So if Salman Khan is not the owner, as he insists, then who is the big boss of KWAN? What are the dealings of KWAN which are associated with most of the A-listers? And who is puppeteering this whole operation? Where are they getting the drugs from? Why so much money coming from UAE, from China? Who's the backdoor manager of all of this? KWAN manages Deepika Padukone and Ranbir Kapoor. But who manages KWAN? Who owns KWAN? It cannot be that here is this super powerful drug company not owned by anyone.
Sir, the thing is, owner of the KWAN is the Pablo Escobar.
People
The
who
company
are
must
involved
be registered in
in
Mumbai.
entire
Now when you
China.
the CD,
I feel it's, you know what shocks me is when your panelists say that, oh, aspirations of film stars have changed and they need to be serviced. Please don't typecast film stars as the epitome of only the wrongdoings. They can be used as role models. They should be socially ostracized if they're consuming drugs, but they should speak up. I'm amazed at the silence of all the people concerned. And please, nobody is suggesting that Deepika Padukone is a culprit. A summon does not suggest culprit, but a summon does suggest that there are certain questions which need to be answered. And I'm sure as responsible role models who are influencers of millions
And the question
of
is
people,
also, I think what I was told, Shaina,
providers and
yeah, what I was told is that
to be busted.
the Enforcement Directorate investigation will be on the real ownership of KWAN. Apparently, some people who are employees have been made into partners because they're a useful front so that you can carry on all this operation and have a hands-off distance from it. But when you have a deep investigation, then these matters do not remain hidden. So it's quite evident to me that without some very powerful people on the top, this company KWAN would not be operating in the way it's operating. Nilotpal, is this not important to know?
So the thing is, the KWAN is operating as a drug distribution company right now.
Yeah.
If you'll see last few days news and information, I will get the Narcos, if you'll see the Netflix series, the Pablo Escobar. So the Pablo Escobar, the big boss is Pablo Escobar, which is not coming in front. The main investor in terms of narco, in terms of money, who is not in paper, but the company is operating big.
So he says this is a Pablo Escobar model. Nilotpal, I'm going to come back to you in just 1 minute. So Shoaib, you tell me here. Are you saying that a company with no owner, a company with no ownership, has become the most powerful company?
And so many leading stars.
And yes, exactly, Nilotpal, all the leading stars are operating with it.
The easiest way, let me demolish
and supporting India's two greatest enemies, Pakistan and China.
Information of all the people you want to tarnish.
I'm not mentioning anyone, you're the one obsessed.
Find the registration details of KWAN from Mumbai.
How do you saying Pakistan and China?
You have such...
How am I saying Pakistan? Well, I'll tell you how I'm saying Pakistan because when you listen to me, Rahul, now.
What is the evidence?
Rahul, again you're behaving like Sunny Deol, you know. One step, repeat, one line, repeat. Listen to me. What I'm saying Pakistan is because if you want to take over the youth of this country, then you have to get the Bollywood industry involved in the drugs trade. Through that, you can manage events, right? You can invite thousands of people, play razzmatazz music, sell drugs freely. Because once these people who have a huge following, and maybe Yuvraj can tell you about it, once the people who have a following are part of the drugs nexus, it is very easy to manipulate India's younger generation. Yuvraj, can you just explain this as someone who's been in this business? Not the drugs business, but the entertainment business.
You know, if you think now EDM music that we call electro dance music, which was actually started by a lot of people back in Goa, KWAN is doing these events too. And you can see thousands and lakhs of people coming there and using all type of banned substances, whether it's MDMA, whether it's LSD, whether it's cocaine. And the new generation, the young kids at 13, 14, they are found there doing drugs all the time. So I totally agree with you, Arnab, that these people are trying to flourish the drug culture all over India. And obviously, the young generation is hooked on to dope. You cannot deny it. Every 13, 14-year-old boy in this nation is smoking marijuana and taking cocaine.
So you agree there are 100,000 people...
Yeah. Come on. It's not about the film industry.
Yuvraj, continue. Yuvraj. Why is stopping Yuvraj when he's making a point? He says that a lot of these so-called music-based events are nothing but drug parties.
They are.
They are extended rave parties where children will tell their parents we are going for a music concert, but they are going for an unofficial rave party. Mass rave party. Can you imagine the amount of...
Not only these parties, they are doing it in their homes now. They're doing it all the time. Dope is so badly scattered all over the place that kids are just doing dope all day. I mean, kids are doing dope before playing a sport, for God's sakes. I mean, look at their health. Look at how they look. They're all weak. They're all small. They're all tiny. Look at our generation. We guys ate good food. These guys don't even eat good food. They all are doing dope all the time. They are making us weak, whoever's doing it.
And the tragedy is, Yuvraj, the tragedy is, Yuvraj, that after all of this, people will come and present Shoaib. People like Shoaib will come on television and portray Deepika Padukone as a victim, not the younger generation as a victim. That's the tragic part of it.
Yes, I mean, that's what's happening here. You know, I mean, like people are defending
people like Deepika Padukone are responsible for ruining generations in this country.
You are accepting that 100,000 people come to those music parties and use banned substances, but you will not point a finger at the agencies who are allowing this to happen across the country. You will not point a finger at the government and the agencies who are allowing this to be smuggled into the country.
Yuvraj.
Yeah.
Doesn't the government also have a responsibility?
No, but the government's responsibility is what we are doing. This cleanup process. What do you think is, Rahul? Rahulji, this is not just a cleanup process limited to Bollywood. It is even the political class, the sports fraternity, and every segment of society that chooses to, corrupt the young and the youth and the fabric and the social fabric of this country. Sir, you can sit in denial mode. The NCB is doing its job without any kind of fear or favor. And there is no
viewers, before I close,
with only 10, in the last 34 years, only 10%.
Why is it that a drug company has no known owner? Viewers, we need a complete and detailed, multi-layered investigation to find out the direct or indirect owners of KWAN. The China connection of KWAN, the UAE connection of KWAN, believe me, this is a really dirty and dangerous company. We'll get to the bottom of it.